What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be getting you prepared for the brand new Waker class we will be seeing on August the 3rd. We're going to be talking about how to level, how to get gear, and augments for your weapons and units. So let's get right into it. Let's start with how to level your Waker class. Nothing inherently has changed in the game, but if you are returning from a lengthy break or you're brand new to the game, there are a couple options for you that you might not be aware of. Some of the easiest ways to get experience in New Genesis is going to be doing your daily tasks as well as Leah May's tasks. You can accept these at Leah May, which is in any major city, and when you complete these, you may not be getting a lot of EXP per quest done, but there is a weekly tied to these, which will give you a bunch of extra EXP without having to do much extra within your day of grinding. The next method to getting experience is going to be yellow triggers. This is by far going to be the easiest way to level up, but it might get tiresome, so I'm going to show you the best route to get your experience in yellow triggers. We currently have 3 different sectors of yellow triggers, and they're all going to require different battle powers, so you may not be able to get into all of them right away. As you progress and level up, so will your battle power, more of these yellow triggers will be accessible. The first region of Alio has 2 yellow triggers, rank 1 and rank 2. The first one will require 1081 battle power, and the second one will require 1363. And I have 2 different EXP values here. If you're in a full party, you'll get 10% EXP boost. And if you're the host of the run, since you are using your triggers, you will get another 10% EXP. So depending on who you're with and who's hosting, the EXP values will change a bit. In Retem, you also have 2 ranks. The first one will require 1474 BP, and the second one will require 2049 BP. And the final yellow trigger that we have is in Kaizaar, and it requires 2416 BP, but it gives a bunch of EXP. So if you are a new player or a returning player, you're most likely not going to have access to Kaizaar Yellow or probably Retem rank 2. So if you are a new player starting from square one with your account, your flowchart of yellow triggers will begin by doing AO yellow rank 1s, going into rank 2s when you have the battle power, into Retem yellow rank 2s, and then finally finishing up with Kaizaar yellow rank 1s until you're at level 60. And if you do have an account that has access to all of this content, you can begin leveling up your Waker as a subclass and using Kaizaar yellow triggers to get the most EXP. Subclasses earn 50% of the EXP of the main class, so in these examples, you would be getting anywhere from 140 to 150,000 EXP for a level 1 Waker subclass, but you can get even more EXP once you can main class Waker and have 2049 battle power. You can switch to Retem yellow rank 2s, in which case you'll be getting anywhere from 178 to 196,000 EXP. And then when you do have 2416 battle power, you will then go back to Kaizaar yellows, since you will be getting full EXP credit now that you are a main class Waker. Yellow triggers are going to get very boring and very monotonous since they are just 2 to 3 minute runs over and over. So I highly suggest spicing it up by doing some combat sectors. These are great ways for EXP, great ways for drops, as well as practice your new Waker class on some different enemies. The times I would highly suggest focusing on combat sectors is going to be when you have access to Retem al-Nath rank 1, 2, and 3. This is a very small combat sector, so it's super easy to get around the map, clear groups, and trigger PSE bursts. You're also going to have the chance to drop some lower rarity harmonizers from 2-star up to 5-star with the possibility of Synquem. My other recommendation is Vanford Labs. You'll have access to this pretty early on with rank 1 and rank 2, but you also have the rank 3 version available at about level 35 and onwards. You have these little drones that will continually do damage to enemies nearby, which will make training much easier if you aren't geared up as much. And of course, a great time to do some combat sector farming is when you have access to both Kaizaar combat sectors. This is going to be one of the best places to drop 6-star harmonizers, and you're getting experience while doing so. And one important consideration to make while doing combat sector training, you could put Waker as a main class and use a different class that you are comfortable with and have equipment already for, and you can use it as a subclass but be just as strong and efficient. So for example, here I am switching to a level 23 Ranger but I'm going to be using all of my force gear. I have level 15 units and I have a level 15 weapon. Now I can go train in some combat sectors using force and using Zon to efficiently train, even though I'm Waker main class. And in turn, I am getting 100% EXP credit for my Waker class. Don't forget all of the side quests in each major region, especially Ritem and Kaizaar. Almost all of these side missions will give you 200,000 or more EXP. When you get into Kaizaar, there's some that will even give you 1 million EXP. So in between doing combat sector and yellow triggers, you can always bounce into one of these regions and double check to see if there's any easy quests to do or some quick EXP. And the last EXP tip that I have for you is involving Guiden, which asks you to go and learn about the quest counter. This is a one-time per character quest. All you have to do is go talk to the quest counter and you are going to immediately get 10 million EXP. This is going to level you up a bunch. This quest is only available once you've completed the Alio and Ritem story, so you're most likely going to be in your mid to late level 20s when you can receive this EXP. I would personally hold off on completing this quest until you get into your level 30s, simply because you have Ritem Al Noth to train in. This is some of the easiest training that you will do. It is very rewarding, both monetarily and potentially in drops. So I would not waste the opportunity to train there and then use this 10 million EXP when the training becomes slower. With all of those training recommendations, you can also push the EXP threshold even further by using coupons, something such as these NEXP earned coupons, Tri Boost coupons, Rappy shaped fritters. These will all give you additional EXP boost. And not to mention, if you did have the SG and you wanted to level up even quicker, there are 50% EXP earned coupons, which will last an entire day, that you can purchase with Star Gems. When you're starting off with your Waker class, I highly suggest going and talking to the item shop staff NPC. There will most likely be a 1-star and 2-star harmonizer here for very cheap. Don't use the personal shop to buy a starter weapon. You're going to be paying a lot of money when you really don't need to. This weapon is going to serve just fine to learn the class and to level up with your class. I would recommend using this weapon until you can reach Ritem Al Noth, and then you'll be farming in that combat sector and having chances to hit 2-star to 5-star harmonizers. From this point on, you'll be using that same weapon until you're in Kaizaar, which I would try to invest into a sectal harmonizer, as it will be the cheapest 6-star option that we will have. You can go ahead and try to buy these in the personal shop, though they might be expensive, or you can go to either of the 2 Kaizaar combat sectors and try to drop it yourself. This sectal harmonizer is going to be your placeholder weapon while you work towards your 7-star Kaizaar harmonizer. And as for the units, if you are a new account, you'll be given some prim armors. I would use those until you can do some yellow triggers. In these yellow triggers, you will receive plus 20 gold prim armors. In the rank 2 versions, you receive plus 30 prim armors. I would use a set of 3 of these armors as your units for quite a while. If they're plus 20, I would enhance them to plus 30 so you have access to a 3rd augment slot. You will be using these armors until level 47, where you can invest into Cistato Armor Shiza or Belta. These are really strong units for the current content, but you might run into a bunch of battle power hurdles in between that time. So if you feel like you need to get more battle power and leveling up is becoming really slow, you could invest into Schwarzrasso armors. These are level 31 and they're 5-star units, but they are completely fine for all endgame content. They have 2% potency and they also give HP and PP. In my opinion, if I was a brand new account and I was leveling from scratch, I would personally look into Schwarzrasso armors. They'll be less sought after since they're only 5-star rarity. Most players will want to go for the new Cistato armors, but that allows you to buy good units for a really cheap price. This will also allow you to get higher battle power, which may give you access to rank 2 Ritem yellows quicker, which in turn is going to give you more EXP so you can level up even quicker. Let's talk about augmenting gear really quickly. I have a full video from April that talks about augmenting. I will link it right here. I will also have the link down in the description below, but I will give you a quick rundown of what I would suggest augmenting for this class. We know this class will be using tech potency, so we are going to be using tech augments. For anybody that is just wanting to use gear while leveling, so it may not be permanent gear, or if you are a new player with very little Meseta on your account, I would go ahead and use this build right here. There is a bit of flexibility between the rarity of these augments because depending on the prices, once Waker is out, they might be very expensive at that point. You can always drop down to the cheaper version and you'll be completely fine while you're leveling up. And once you get into Kaizaar and you're in 6-star gear and you have a good set of units, a decent augment build for that set would look something like this. You don't have to use AM Soul 3. It just so happens that that is the cheapest tech boss soul. You do have the option to use Nex or Renus if you would like to. Tech 3 is really cheap. Giga's Tech 3 will cost a little bit. So will Alt Secret of 3, but they are great capsules. And for the 5th slot, you can go any of the tech dualables, or you can go into a Tria augment depending on their price. This build right here will allow you to do any content in the game, and you shouldn't feel like you have to upgrade any more than this. I am going to show you what a best in slot augment setup does look like, just in case you're really enjoying Waker and you want to push your class to the complete limit. A good best in slot setup would be Boss Soul 3, using Deft Stat, Giga's Tech 3, Alt Secret of 3, and a Tria augment. You could replace Tria augment with an Addy capsule or a Mastery capsule, although those are very expensive and not mandatory. Once again, this isn't necessary for any content, but it is something you can aim for if you find it important for your character. And that's it for today. That's all I got for you guys. I just wanted to try to break down everything about what your focuses should be for leveling this class up and getting it geared up. Let me know down in the comments below. Did I miss anything? Is there something that you would recommend for any players trying out the Waker class? I would love to hear from all of you. And on that note, I'll see you guys in the next video real soon.